Hello, hello.
Hello, I appear out of nowhere, don't I?
Yes.
Hey, at least I got here when it started.
You did good this time.
I had to turn my timesheet in. And if I don't turn that in, life kind of sucks.
Yeah, the paycheck doesn't roll in, right?
Yeah, it just doesn't happen on its own for some reason. I don't know. Okay, let me see. Hey, Sean. Well, Sean, we're actually going to talk about Zach. That's what we're going to do. Not my Zach, but that's what we're going to do. And we're going to talk about his newest project, however much he can discuss.
I will discuss as much as possible.
Perfect. So I've only gotten a little bit of this, so I'm curious as to what is going on.
For sure, yeah. So, my name is Zak Wenzel. I run Blood Moon Paranormal. We're a paranormal group based out of Joliet, Illinois. And for the last 10 years, I've been making paranormal documentaries for our YouTube channel. And they're like documentary episodes more so. They're, between 30 and 45 minutes ish. So they're episodes. But this project right here is something that was so dear and close to my heart because it's 10 minutes from my house. A giant limestone prison, the old Joliet prison. And I knew that I wanted to make a larger scale documentary for this, not just a 45-minute episode, but something much bigger. So we have Project Limestone. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool. So what angle did you take on this? What is it, the history? Is it more, what angle did you take on it?
Right. So, yeah, we do dive into the history. I got a lot of people that I interviewed, everything from historians that have been doing research on this place for the past 9 years, guards that used to work there, people who have been doing paranormal there for a long time, even breaking in there when it was abandoned. So there's a lot of people that we interviewed for this that told us their stories from the history to their paranormal experiences there, even a guard that experienced paranormal stuff there in the 70s and 80s when he was working there, which is kind of crazy that it was happening back then too.
Yeah.
And then we dive into an investigation. It's a multiple night investigation of the property. The first night starting off on the main side of the prison, and then the second night heading over to the women's side of the prison, now known as the annex, and being the first to investigate that side of the prison because no one's ever done it before. So
Wow. Is it still open?
it is not. No, it's open for like tours, and
Yeah.
the women's side is owned by a haunted house company that is now running a haunted attraction out of it.
Great.
No,
That's,
they're great people. They're great people. I promise. I actually work for them. So,
yeah. Does that take away or does that enhance activity?
enhance 100%. 100%. From my experience, because I've done a lot of investigations of haunted attractions that are in haunted locations. And I mean, you have that energy of people going through and getting scared and having a good time. It's that energy that keeps flowing. And then the spirits see that, oh, these people are scaring people. I want to scare people. And then they do stuff to try to scare you. And that was our experience on that side as well, investigating over there. It's pretty wild.
Wow. Yeah. My lovely little co-host over here got a chance to actually look into the history and kind of be able to look into kind of what you're doing. I did not have that option. I was stuck on phones talking to jackasses all day. So, um,
Hence the reason why I'm researching history.
yeah. And, well, you're more than that. You're a lot more than that. But to answer Sean's question, I don't know why Jeremy's still off. I don't know. He didn't have surgery or nothing, But we all know Eileen is
Leaning up against a post because her name is Eileen, and that's what she does best. Is she just leans on it until it gives, right?
Yeah.
Her.
And Nick is at a Paracon, so I will forgive him for that one. But
Yeah, he's with the big dogs right now. He's in Upper Michigan. Like I'm
mm,
kind of jealous because you know what? I love the UP to begin with. The Upper Peninsula is just beautiful.
yeah,
I had the privilege of just traveling throughout there. But yeah, he's in amazing areas. Sault Ste. Marie.
I'm
yeah,
jealous. I've
Places.
I've heard good things about that Paracon. So
Oh yeah, it's a blast. I actually know people. I know the historian for Sault Ste. Marie, and
okay,
he's an amazing person. He says it's just he gets a kick out of it, everybody that comes through and the stories afterwards and whatnot. But
that's
yeah,
awesome.
So when is this supposed to come out?
This will come out on October 17th of this year.
Okay, okay. And where can it be seen?
It'll be on our YouTube channel, Blood Moon Paranormal. I wanted to go a little bigger and push it somewhere else, but I wanted that control over it. I didn't want anybody trying to dip their spoons in and take over. So, um, yeah,
Yep. That until you have to fake this and you have to act like this happened when it didn't. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Plus, it was filmed last year, and we've improved so much from last year to now. Um, because the project got put on hold. There was something that happened that we go into in the documentary that put the project on hold, and it almost didn't happen to where it got finished. Like it almost
Wow.
just got vaulted, and here we are. We're gonna release it. We got an ending for it, so that's what matters is we're getting it done. So yeah, it we would film it a little better now if yeah,
I
but
don't know.
it's gonna be
Raw
great.
is better. I
hey,
think. I think raw and when you have too much experience, it's too much of camera angles, and you don't get to see what you want to see.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think those are the best before you get too big.
yeah, I like. I don't know. I don't like watching, the big shows. I like watching, people go in and do investigations and you get to turn with them. And sometimes you get to catch it with them where you don't get to catch it in the bigger shows. It's like they don't
right.
let you see what they truly see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's why we try to, I try to do a solid mix between, the bigger shows and real paranormal. I want
Mhm.
people to experience the investigation with us, but I also want them to be entertained and learn some history
Right.
through, good cinematics and good editing and stuff like that. Like I want it to like flow nice and feel real because it is real.
You want to bring everybody in there with you.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Walk with
So
you.
were you able to experience a lot of things even that didn't get filmed?
Yes. So we weren't we do like B-roll during our investigations. So we have our cameras doing some of the shots to get for the history section and all that. And we were just filming B-roll, not filming the environment or anything happening around us. And quite a few things happened during that time. Um, one of the things that happened, and I am not one to say I saw figure.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm the last person to say that, and you can ask anyone in my crew, you can ask people that have investigated with me. I won't claim that. When I was doing B-roll in one of the cell blocks on the women's side, I was on the main floor of the cell block. So it kind of like goes up on both sides and there's like a catwalk on each side. And I was standing there and I was talking to the general manager or the assistant general manager at the prison. And I look up, I look down, I look back up. When I looked up real quick, I saw a figure crouching down, staring at me, completely naked, gray skin, bald, no hair, and a very strange facial expression. He was just crouched down, just staring at me. I looked up, looked down, looked back up. It was gone. So Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird thing for sure. So
Things that make you go, hmm.
yeah, and like I said, I'm not one to claim that I see apparitions. I'm not that type of person. That was probably maybe the first time I've seen like a full apparition was that moment. And I've been doing this for 10 years. So
I have yet to see one.
yeah, it was pretty scary because then that is where I ended up doing my isolation that night. So 15 minutes by myself in that cell block. So yeah.
No, not after I saw that. No, no, I don't think so.
Did you have,
October,
be honest, did you have second thoughts?
I did. And we we
The
put on heart
17th, John.
October 17th for the documentary. We put on heart rate monitors, and
Oh,
you can
that's
see it
awesome.
during our isolations. You can see it in the corner what our heart rate is during that. Um,
I like
so
that idea.
yeah, so that mine was up there in that moment because stuff was happening around me too. So it's
I
pretty wild.
bet that, yeah, that's really a good idea. Uh, did that figure look anything like what they depict the rake as?
I think I know what image you're talking about. Kind of like an all white figure, like reaching out for the camera. That picture.
Oh no, this is like it has glowing eyes, and which I know you didn't say the glowing eyes, but the grayish,
About
like,
that?
yes.
Yes, it did kind of look like that, but the eyes were more squinty. So that I always forget the name of the rake. I always forget that name for some reason. So like I just kind of explain what I saw. But yes, it looked exactly like that, but like squinty eyes and like two slits for a nose. Um, Again, didn't catch it on camera. That was off camera.
Yeah.
Um, but it was like a wild thing. Like I've never experienced something like that. Like I've seen the occasional shadow figure, possibly, but this was just so different. This was like it looked like there was a person there,
Yeah.
And yeah, it was and because this is that wasn't on camera and I don't really talk about it in the documentary. I did talk to a guard that worked on that side, the annex side, and when he was working there, he experienced a ton of paranormal activity. He told me that in that cell block in particular, him and his coworkers have seen a white figure dash past them in the peripherals while working. So like I didn't find that out until a couple weeks ago when I interviewed him.
Oh wow.
So and I filmed this last year. So like it was really, really weird.
We always, dark things in your peripheral. We always see that.
Yeah.
But white, that's something that's very seldom heard. Now, I know when we went to the Abbey, we went with I went with a different group of people than we did the last time, and the group I was kind of at the end, and we all smelled this terrible, nasty. My first thought, I said, "Hey, whoever farted up there, you get out of here." And it was that bad. And he was like, "I didn't, but I smell it." I'm like, okay. And he got around the corner, and this door's like 10 foot tall. And they saw that rake figure come over the door. And he said he locked eyes with it. It wasn't glowing like in the picture. He said he locked eyes with it. And then he turned around. He said, "I'm out." And so the owner, or the guy who's running it, he came down and like 20 minutes later, and he said that smell was still just as pungent and it was still there. I'm like, wow, okay. But he's the guy in the front was the only one that saw it, but he drew it out for the person, and he was like, yeah. And a lot of people have seen it since.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. Like I have never seen something like that before. Like that was a first. And I don't even know. Like I'm upset I didn't get it on camera, but I'm still glad that I experienced it, So Because sometimes that experience is worth a little more than getting it on camera.
It's the confirmation you personally need. It's the
Yeah, yeah, and that guard that I talked to, like he validated me because I mean, obviously he didn't see the figure himself with his own eyes, but he saw white things dashing past him, and
Mhm.
so did his other coworkers, that were working in that cell block.
it's like you're part of a private club that can confirm, and that's the password, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, did you see that? Like Adrian and I were on the phone the other day, and I was like, so I just saw this weird thing crawl across the floor, and she's like, yeah, so did I. Like, well,
Mhm.
maybe we were meant to call each other. Like, I don't know, but it's that confirmation. So I don't know. It's
No, no, I agree. It's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. So
she's like, no, 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 that's not cool.
yeah, that thing was not cool. Whatever that was.
Whatever that was.
I was at my daughter's house, even not here, not in my home. I was at my daughter's house and walk across her room and see this black thing go across there. I'm like,
And at the same time, I see this black thing dart across my hallway, and I'm like, Adrian.
of course, my daughter's house. She's always sending videos of things moving on their own and strange stuff. But
So,
So-
did anybody else? Did
Yeah.
anybody else have their first time crazy experience, or have they not come out of the paranormal closet yet with it?
At during the filming of the
Mhm.
documentary, so everyone that's on my crew, they believe in ghosts. I mean, they've been doing it with me for a while. But the assistant general manager at the prison, so my boss, I work at the haunted attraction as well. I'm the production tech there. He investigated with us that night on the women's side, the annex side, and we turned him into a believer. So he was he didn't believe before, but now he does. So
So the annex side had not been investigated like the main prison had. Was it more active or less active not being investigated?
it was more active. Now I can't, you can't say that for every location. I feel like they might need to warm up to the equipment, but man, that annex side, it was more active than the main side.
Well, yeah, you're in there with women, right?
Yeah, so it was women
Or
until the
catty
1930s.
bitches.
What's up, Chris? Yeah, no, it was the women's side until the 1930s. So after that, it was RNC. So that was where they would process them. And throughout that, they would process them there, but they would also keep certain people there. So they would a lot of the times keep sex offenders there. So yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
1930s.
So that would be interesting energy. You just stuck sex offenders in a cell block that had women in it.
Correct.
Holy chaos.
Yeah.
Like seriously, holy chaos.
I didn't realize that many women got arrested in 1930s. Usually they did anything
Chicago.
to keep them from
Period.
getting arrested.
Yeah, well, this was a
They
state
were-
prison, so like we got everyone in the state of Illinois. So, and that was the women were at the prison from the time it was built to the 1930s. So that was from the 1850s to the 1930s. The women's side wasn't built until the 1890s. So women were on the top floor of the admin building on the main side. So like men and women were kind of together, but like kind of not. So then they got their own place across the street. So
What a mess. No.
So like let's talk about some of the history of the building,
For
because
sure.
the building is just like amazing. We were talking backstage about it. Like I said, it's just limestone, and the prisoners that were being transferred there. And I remember hearing this story as a kid. So the prisoners that were being transferred there actually built their own prison.
Correct.
Can you imagine? Like, and they said the chapel though is absolutely amazing, and that's what everybody talks to me about is the chapel. I'm the person like if there's a chapel, I want to see it. We're going. So, like, have you've obviously been in the chapel, right?
Yeah, it is a newer building on property, so it's not the original chapel, but it's still beautiful. They have this like I don't know how to explain it, but at the part where the altar is, it's like a diamond shaped like window, like a giant diamond, and it's all stained glass. So it's really cool. I remember in 2018 when they acquired the property and started cleaning it up. I was there that first day of volunteer cleanup, and we went into the chapel, and I remember taking all the pews out and putting them into storage. And some of them were rotted and stuff like that. Others were perfect, and it was really cool. So hopefully they restore those pews at some point and get them back in there because it's pretty empty in there right now.
Can you imagine the energy that comes from those pews? Like the hard repent that came, sitting in those pews years after years, after year. Like I don't know.
The confessional booth is still there too. Like they have a couple of them. Like
Oh
the
my goodness.
whatever I'm not super religious, so I don't know like the terms, but like the confessional booth, I think it's called.
Yes.
They have like a couple of those there. So
Oh, that'd be one good place to get a lot of good energy. I don't think you'd want to tap into like, hearing what they say, but that would be a cool place to get energy because people really do, especially, considering what you said it was built when the chapel was like 1920, wasn't it?
I don't know what year the chapel was built, but it is a newer building on property. It might be 1950s or 1970s.
Okay.
So
I mean, people were still pretty hard, religious and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was still stuff happening at the prison. Obviously, suicide, death. There was a riot in the 70s, so like stuff with like that was still happening there. It didn't just calm down overnight, So,
right.
Yeah,
it carries and it lingers, and and that energy fed the old energy, and then the old energy, it's like a rotating battery. If you look at it energetically wise, throughout the decades.
100%. And that prison had a lot of problems too. So
they had the worst conditions. Everybody goes, oh no, this prison had the worst condition. Oh no, this insane asylum had the worst conditions. Hands down, this is one of the top, like I'd say 3 contenders of worst conditions I have ever seen for a prison.
100%.
Like when I was doing my research, I was like,
it was pretty bad. I mean, they didn't have, if I'm remembering it correctly, because there's so much history, I can't remember it off the top of my head 100%. But if I remember this correctly, the main cell house didn't have proper plumbing until the 80s.
Yep.
So.
Yep. I was reading that. And then like, did you, the recipe for their main course every day? Oh no. No. It was like what, corn water and.
Yeah. And that's why they built Stateville down a couple miles down the road. That was supposed to replace Joliet in like the 50s when they built it. But then they're just like, oh, we have so many prisoners. We're just going to keep both open. So there's 2 prisons that were open at the same time. I'd say give or take 10 minutes from each other. Mm-hmm. And they're open simultaneously, and they're both state prisons. And what I noticed is it seems like the kind of more rowdy or the more like violent offenders and the people that they want to punish, they would send them to Joliet.
Yep.
So
yeah, can't blame them if it was that bad.
Yeah.
John Wayne Gacy was in prison there.
We'll get into that in the documentary.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people say, but that might not be as true as you think.
Well, that's one of those, well, I live in the Southwest, so we have legends of like, what really happened to Billy the Kid, what really happened to this person, but yeah.
Yeah, we had Richard Speck, we had Leopold and Loeb, we had I think it's I always forget the expressway, which one it is, the I-95 killer, I think it was.
Yes.
I think that's the highway it was. It's I-55, I-95, whatever one it was. But we had quite a bit of
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Babyface Nelson was there. He was a gangster.
Yeah.
Quite a few.
And Babyface really had a baby face. And
Yeah,
what I mean, was
he was
that
all
Oil
over
of
the place.
Olay?
He was all over the place. He had been to quite a few prisons. I think he
Oh
was
yeah,
OSR, MSP. He was at quite a few.
he was a hopper.
Yeah, 100%.
That energy has to be ugly, nasty. It's,
Some of it is. Some of it is. I think they've learned their lesson, and I think that they just want to move on. And there is that sadness there that I thought when I die I was going to move on, and I'm still here.
yeah.
They served their life sentence, and now they're still there.
Serving their
Yeah.
life sentence.
100%. So I think that
Afterlife
that's sad.
sentence.
That
Yeah.
sadness is still also there. There is obviously more aggressive spirits. There's more angrier side. I don't think anything there can hurt anybody. I don't think anything there has hurt anybody. I mean, I've never been hurt during an investigation, unless it's myself tripping over something.
Yeah.
So
Human error.
yeah, nothing there to hurt you. But I mean, there's stuff that's definitely angry for sure, and then there's stuff that's sad. So
Probably just they want to talk.
yeah,
They want to
And
talk it out, you know.
you also have the guard spirits too. If a guard got killed or something like that, because that would happen. In fact, there was a warden's wife that got murdered there
Yep.
by one of the inmates, and her name was Odette, and I believe, I can't remember her cause of death, how the inmate killed her, but she's said to be there. She was an opera singer, and they say you can hear her singing opera from outside of the cell block. I think they were saying mostly in North segregation. You can hear it.
Right.
That's
Well, they did a ghost hunt in the 1920s. I was reading that on quite a few of the pages and whatnot, and I pulled up some books and stuff. And that's pretty cool. They did because they heard singing around the property.
Yes,
know,
the one you're
and-
talking about is the old cemetery for it,
Yes.
and that's Monkey Hill Cemetery, and that was a cemetery for the Joliet prison, and it was actually on the annex side of the property up north. It's a big open field now. The headstones were all wood, so they all deteriorated, and there's no marking to let you know where it's at. So
Oh,
yeah, it's real unfortunate.
they need to take one of those. It's not a
Ground-
seismograph, but where they can
Ground
go over
penetrating
the top and see if there's indentions in the ground or if there's hollow places or whatever.
Yeah, I would love to get that done. I don't know if 13th Floor Entertainment Group owns that part of the land or if it's still state property.
Mm.
So that's the problem.
The state might let you actually go in there and do it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
There's quite a few places that they're going through and they're doing that now, like at old prisons and whatnot, and they're going to go back through and they're going to mark the graves and and try to preserve them because we should.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
Hopefully,
but
I mean, maybe eventually, maybe that's something worth reaching out about, next year when, summer rolls back around or something. Because, it's going to take forever to get a hold of them in the first place. So,
yeah.
And then
that it's going to get cold and the ground's going to freeze. Actually, that might be the best time. There's no growth. There's no chiggers. There's no, none of that.
That's true.
Tall grass.
Yeah, and then it'd be cool to even just like maybe a fence, maybe just a plaque to commemorate, or like a stone that just commemorates everyone that was there. That'd be really cool. So,
and have like one of those, memorial, like all the names and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe, where
if they have the documentation on that, because that's, a lot of the documents was lost because there's been several fires.
About that.
There's been lots of fires, especially when it was abandoned, and there's still documents that were in there, and I believe that was one of the buildings that burned. So I'm not 100% sure, but that's
something I noticed in your. I guess it's kind of a little trailer that was on your page. or a series of pictures is what it was, and one of those pictures was the burnt staircase.
Oh yes, yes, yes. The burnt staircase, that's on the annex side. Beautiful staircase. Beautiful woodwork on it. Um, I think there was a fire in that staircase. It looks like it, right? But a lot of it is water damage. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, because the roof is pretty bad right there. And it like when it rains, like it rains really hard, it's like a waterfall. Like it's just coming down. So yeah, it's
That's
unfortunate,
awful.
but
Jeremy, yes. In the tall grass where time just loops around itself. Absolutely.
What the hell are you two doing?
You want to come take a walk with me, Jeremy, in tall grass? We can venture into a cornfield too.
I think y'all better take Nick with that shit. No.
So, do you have any big plans after this, or are you guys just gonna for a minute?
well, it's gonna be a huge weight off my shoulders for sure. Because this one, like I said, like we film at least once a month, like our smaller episodes. So like, that we still do that. But for this being filmed like a year ago, like it's just been hovering over me. Just come on, finish me. Just let's just do this. And it's gonna be a huge weight off my shoulders. What's up, Sean? Hope you're doing good. And I'm having so much fun with doing this actual full scale documentary. And I feel like I mentioned to you earlier, I could have filmed this a lot better. I'm going to take what I've learned over the past year, because I went to film school. I just graduated in last month, actually. And I learned so
Congratulations.
much. Thank you so much. We're going to film another documentary after this. Can't say where. I want it to be like a surprise, and I want to get through this one first. But the next one is going to be it's going to be a smaller location, but it's going to have quite the impact. So
Smaller is not always less.
yeah, that's for sure.
Smaller is definitely, the smaller can pack a bigger punch than
All that energy in one small place.
tiny place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so I have to ask, what season did you film this in? Being, in the Midwest, did you tend to stay away from the -20, or were you like everybody else and think that you guys can make it through the -20s and film?
I don't do the cold anymore.
Amen.
I stopped doing the cold. We had one really, really bad investigation where I was like, it had to have been like below zero. And the house was all brick, so it all was contained in there. And underneath
it was cozy.
The house had no heat at all. And the basement had a natural spring in it, so there was water down there coming from the ground, so that made it even colder. And yeah, it was pretty bad. So after that, I was like, no more cold stuff. If we're booking anything for like November, December, January, February, March, I'm checking if there's heat first.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Artesian wells are weird too, because I had a farm out in Wisconsin. We had an artesian well in the back right next to the house, and that artesian well would spurt off, and it didn't matter if it was like -45 with wind chill out there. That artesian well was consistently rolling water out, and you would just watch it freeze as it hit, and it was just weird.
Yeah,
it was just weird.
Yeah, no, this was filmed in July, so it was. I mean, it wasn't humid, cold, but it was hot. So, yeah, that was whatever.
Suffocating.
Yeah, I would rather be like sweating than freezing. So, but I do prefer like fall weather, like slightly warm with a nice breeze. Perfect. Mm-hmm. So.
I miss the like random days in winter in the Midwest where they were just like warm.
Yeah.
and you felt like spring was like at the tip of your fingers, and you're like, can I start the seeds?
Yeah,
Do
right.
I go chip out the ice in the driveway? Or do I, yeah, why not? And thank God you did, because the next 2 weeks is a living hell and you're under blizzard warning.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. That's how it goes.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I do miss those days though. Those random days where you can be outside in your shorts and, you know, a long sleeve shirt.
That's every day.
No, not in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Not in Illinois. No. But you know what? If you grow up there like my kids did, you turn around and it's like -20 and they're at the bus stop with long socks, slides, shorts, and a hoodie.
Yeah, the kids here, I don't get it. It's 102 and they're wearing their hoodies and, you know, looking ridiculous. And then it's 0 and they're out there in shorts. Is this a new trend? I mean, what is going on?
No, it's always been like this. It's always been like this. From what I have seen with how many kids, it's just a natural rotation. I don't know. It's rebellion against the season.
Yeah,
like
that's working real well for them.
Like a hope thing. Like you're hoping
Yeah.
that will happen. You're gonna put this on, and then it's gonna be fine outside.
Yeah,
Because we're cool with winter until like January hits. January hits, and we're not cool with winter. February hits, we're really not cool with winter. You got to experience that, Adrian. Oh my. Zach, you want to hear a funny story? I had to make an emergency trip
Sure.
to Wisconsin.
this is not a funny story. And in no way, shape, or form does it make anybody look good. No, ma'am.
I rent this car here in New Mexico from Florida, no snow tires. It's what, January, February?
It was February.
It was February. Make it to Colorado, pick up Adrian.
Mistake number 1.
She cannot handle anybody driving other than herself. Maybe Zach, but deep down inside, she's screaming. Okay.
That's me. I have to drive.
I'm like,
So-
do you see the tail lights in front of you? Do you see the tail lights?
That's me, for sure.
So we get to Wisconsin. We get to the border of Wisconsin, and all of a sudden there is one of the infamous car pileups from Chicago, you know, all the way up to Milwaukee, you know, Madison area. Just one of those huge car pileups across the border. And Adrian's like, oh my God, this is bad. And we haven't even hit Wisconsin.
I said, see, if they're piling up like that, we don't need to be going anywhere.
And I'm like, where are we going to stay? It's Wisconsin. We're heading into Wisconsin, Adrian. Where are we going to stay? There is no place to stay. Sister, you're going to have to sit down and you're going to have to shut up and you're going to have to let me drive. I said, don't say one word. Shh, don't. I said, and if you can't handle that, take 2 gummies and shut the fuck up and put the seat back and take a nap.
Mind you, I'm from Colorado where gummies are legal.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
And no, I did not take them with me.
Not 20 minutes. Not 20 minutes. We get stuck behind a snowplow.
No, wait, I did take them with me. And I did end up taking one.
Yep. Because we get stuck behind a snowplow. And I'm like, I'm going to have to pass the snowplow.
Oh my God.
We can't sit behind the snowplow, Adrian. We are sitting fucking dogs.
I see. The roads are white.
She can't see the road. And I'm like, trust me. I've driven in this for 20 years. I know where the end of the road is. I mean, like, you just know. It's natural. So I'm going around this snowplow without snow tires. Adrian's like, oh my God. She's freezing up. I'm holding a conversation just like this, completely calm. And I said, oh, this is going to be fun. I said, you better hold on. Because when I come around this snowplow, and when I said that, I started spinning. I let go of the wheel. And then I felt the pull, right? And I pulled back and I did the double tap and I straightened it out and I continued to go. And then I continued my conversation with Adrian. And she looked at me. She's like, "Are you fucking crazy?" No. If you don't spin out at least 3 times in a winter, are you really driving?
No, that's the whole point.
How you got to do it?
Yeah, I told her, I said, you still need milk. We still need groceries. We still have to go to work. Nothing stops because there's snow on the road. I had to give birth at April 14th. Okay. I had to give birth in Wisconsin's worst blizzard, 2018. Look it up. It was bad. I was hoping I was going to see Jim Cantore again because every time I gave birth, it was during a fucking snowstorm, except for Nate. He was
smart.
Yeah, no, he was during a tornado.
Yeah, I can handle those. I'll stand on the rooftop and watch till they get there. That don't bother me. That ice, that bothers me. Mind you, we did not get there that night. We did not get all the way there. We ended up staying in the first motel we found because it started.
Yeah, but that was before we got to Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
After we got to Wisconsin, she was shit out of luck. There is no hotels. I mean, I can knock on a farmer's door and ask if I can sleep in the barn. I'll cuddle up next to a cow. It's about what you're going to get. Wow.
That's so funny.
Have you been from Illinois your whole entire life?
Yeah, I lived here my whole life. So, not like real farm area, kind of just suburbs. So, yeah. But I mean, I get the driving thing because I drive for a living. So,
yeah. Do you feel the need to acknowledge cows too when you see cows? Do you nod and go cows?
I acknowledge them. I acknowledge them.
The power of the cow, isn't it? See, look at Adrienne. She's never lived in the Midwest. She doesn't know. The cows know.
No, where I came from, you slaughter them. That's the acknowledging the cow is while you're hanging them up upside down and getting ready to have some steak.
Happy cows do not come from California.
Nothing happy comes from California.
Okay, happy cows come from the Midwest, where we acknowledge our cows and we treat our cows with the moo respect.
That's right.
Does their meat taste any better?
Yes.
It does actually, because they're corn fed, not grass fed.
And our deer, oh Lord, the whitetail that we can hunt. Let me tell you, that's some good meat too.
Yeah, the deer freak me out real bad. I'm afraid to hit one. Like, it's bad.
Do we need Jeremy to elaborate on that little statement he made? You want to go ahead and say what that something is there, Jeremy?
Yeah, what kind of pot are we on? Listen, I want to go to Mars. Who wants to go to Mars?
Go to Mars?
Did you take some gummies tonight?
No. My kid was watching that like Mars show where they were picking the people to go to Mars, the documentary. Do you remember that?
No.
Zach, do you remember that?
I don't.
How they picked like 15 people to go to Mars?
No.
And they knew that they were never going to come back? I actually legit want to know now where these people are at. Like, I want a VH1 special. Like, where are these people at now?
Ooh.
No clue.
Sure.
You guys never heard about that?
This is his stuff, his favorite stuff. So,
No.
that's his favorite stuff. So,
Whose favorite stuff? It doesn't have an S in front of it, the he. So it's not she. It's not her stuff. So, guess it's not for me. And it's not my favorite stuff.
You couldn't handle it.
That moonshine?
That's exactly what it is.
I love moonshine.
His brother makes it, so.
Okay. That's strong then. That's strong.
I don't know.
Okay.
I know he put a jalapeno in one of them.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't do that. I don't like jalapenos, but I do like moonshine. Moonshine's good.
I love hot stuff. I love it.
Pie, Zach. Apple pie.
Apple pie is the way to go.
That I can do. That there's no problem with that. Strawberry. I love the strawberry. But this last one, I don't even know. It was no flavor, and it was more like
We went to Brushy Mountain this year, and they make moonshine there at the prison, and we picked some up. It's pretty
what?
cool. Yeah.
Wow. Joanne, it's not on TV. It's on his YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Blood Moon Paranormal.
Blood Moon Paranormal. We're on YouTube. We have a ton of paranormal episodes there where we investigate different locations from around the U.S. and we do local stuff too as of recently. So we've done quite a bit of places such as like bars, restaurants, places that used to be a bank, places that used to be a theater, and we have a couple more coming out this year as well with that. But Project Limestone is our big documentary. So
back to Project Limestone. What was the funniest moment that happened?
Oh, the funniest moment. Oh man,
Thank you, Jeremy.
that one's tough. I can't.
Okay, give me.
Because it was pretty intense. The entire time it was pretty intense. I'd say the funniest thing that we did was night one on the main side of the prison. There was 8 of us, and we split right in half, boys and girls, and we made it a competition. We were like, we'll make a point system for like catching evidence, and whoever gets the most evidence and the most points wins. So I'm in the process of editing that portion right now. So I'm still tallying up like who's.
Are you being fair?
I'm being fair. I'm being fair.
Sure.
I might be.
How many of you was there?
What are the stakes?
Bragging rights.
Oh, see,
Right.
That's rough. So can you truly be fair, or do you need one of the females to edit too? Bragging rights are huge.
You're right. You're right. I'll have them double check everything, make sure.
So, how many of y'all were there investigating?
So night one was just it was 8 of us. We split in half, so it was 4 and 4, and we took different buildings. So when one of us was in like East Cell House, the other one was in Honor Dorm. Because it's multiple buildings on the property. It's not like there's some prisons that everything's all connected.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's tunnel systems that connect all the buildings, but we don't have access to that. So it's all flooded from my understanding. So we split up and did it like that, 4 and 4. And then our second night investigation, it was just 3 of us from the crew and then the assistant general manager, Derek, at the prison. So there's 4 of us there as well. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. I know, sometimes you get too many people in there and you end up, I don't care how well you know them. I don't care how much you love them. They're going to make a sound. You're going to make a sound and everybody's going to be.
It's always the stomach growls too. It's always the stomach growls.
Oh, that's always me. That's always me.
But no, I'm pretty good about mitigating the group because I have 10 in my crew. I'm pretty good about mitigating it. So like I was telling Jan earlier, if we have like a house investigation, I'll be like, all right, this house is this big. We'll do like 3 or 4 people, sign up for it, first come, first serve. If it's like a prison, okay, we can do 10 people. We'll just split in half when we go and investigate. So,
yes.
So roundabout, what's the average of how long you guys have all been working together?
It just depends on because I've added people throughout time. People have left, people have came in. 3 of the members I've been working with since the beginning. So for over 10 years now. And then there's some people that I've been working for 8 years, 6 years. Someone we added, I want to say 2 years ago now. That's our most recent member, I would say, maybe a year and a half. But I've been working with them for a long time. So, yeah.
It's really hard to find people you actually click with and can trust. And
100%. I'm very, very picky. Very picky.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be.
You do. If you want your reputation to uphold, because just one that does something stupid, you have to really pick yourself up after that.
And I've had to kick people out of the group before because of that. You know, I had someone that ended up we were inside of a location and they were smoking their dab pen, and I'm like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Like, we're not doing that. So
Yeah,
um,
we like here it's just my husband and I, and he could care less about paranormal. He really couldn't care less. He that's, but he's there for the camera. You know, he'll do the camera. He will be there to debunk or give me a different view,
mhm.
which you need. I mean, and you're not going anywhere by yourself. I'm not. But the rest of my crew is across the country.
Yeah.
You know, we've got, I don't know, that bitch over there.
You
New
moved.
Mexico.
You moved. Zach, she moved first.
I did. And you were on your way moving, so do not give me no crap. And then we have Jeremy, who's clear over in Indiana. That's not helping. Yeah, so yeah, it's we end up collaborating online, you know, with what we get, or I do when if I go somewhere, it's like, okay, this is what happened, this is what's going on. Give me your view.
Yeah, that's really cool though. I mean, you guys have like, because you can grab different aspects from different areas of, you know, the US. It's really cool. Um, we're all local to Illinois. Everyone's within an hour of each other pretty much. So a lot
You
of them I went to like middle school and high school with.
And
So
that's great. That's, you know them. You
Yeah.
know their character. You know.
Right. You didn't meet yours at a bar.
In my defense, I was investigating her bar. It's not like I just, oh, here, let's go have a drink. No, I was investigating.
No, that
her
was
bar.
later on that night.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, I mean, you know, we have teams in the Netherlands. You know,
Mhm.
we have them all over, and we will collaborate. You know, if there's some, I will, because I'm by myself.
Yeah.
So I'm like putting it out there, going,
Cool.
"Hey, what do you get? What's going on here?" You know.
That's really
But you know, Colorado, I've only been here 3 years now,
okay.
and there is a lot of places, but most of them you can't get into because they're like ghost towns, and you're not going on private property like that.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is here in Illinois. Like, you have a lot of stuff down south, southern Illinois, but within an hour and a half of my house, there's like not a single place that offers investigations.
Yeah.
So that's why when um like the prison recently stopped. They don't offer investigations anymore. They do, but they really up the price. So it's
Yeah.
more of like a, well, if you really want to do it, you're going to pay on our terms.
Right.
And I'm talking like 10 grand for 4 hours.
That's kind of what I saw. 14, something like that. I was seeing that somewhere.
Yeah, it's really bad. They're really and we really dive into that in the documentary. Kind of the stuff that's going on at the prison nowadays. And that's like the ending of the documentary, like the act 3 of it. And it really dives into that emotional side of things. It gets emotional. And you're probably like, oh, well, they don't offer investigation anymore. How does that get emotional? You'll see. It's yeah.
Yeah.
We just went through that with another location, and the caretaker ended up calling out the people that owned it, and he got kicked out because they weren't maintaining it. And it was a historic place and a beautiful place, whatnot. And they ended up basically doing the same thing. I don't know if they're going to do investigations, and if they do, it's going to be a lot of money. But we don't even know if they're going to keep the building up.
Yeah.
But it gets hard, like when you grow so attached
Yeah.
to a place.
It's an abbey, and it was built after the Pope's cathedral, and it was supposed to be the Pope's like vacation home type thing. It was supposed to have a football field,
Rochester put up
swimming pool.
or Rockefeller.
Yeah.
Rockefeller had to buy the property and put the money up for the property because the Protestants kept burning it down. And so he even had a say in all of it, and they bought all the land all around it and whatnot. It was a beautiful school. It just,
And
sorry,
the last time,
I'm emotional about it.
You're all good. I get it.
the last time up there at the top, you know, there's what, 5 floors? There was 5. 4
I don't remember. I just remember
4
being barefoot. And
in the basement.
Zach probably doesn't know, but in an abbey in the back, you have ramps.
They're not steps. The nuns
They're-
will not walk up steps.
You walk up these ramps. So I don't count. I just take my shoes off and go, all right, God, here I come. This is gonna hurt, and I'm gonna be praying to you. As we walk up, we're down the stairs, like, God, please don't let me break my ankle. Please don't let me break my ankle.
Yeah, but the upstairs, it where the children were and different things, all the rooms have water in them and standing water. And downstairs, you'd never know it unless you were allowed up. Downstairs, just gorgeous. The main floor is offices and different things, and the mold. And that's what the caretaker was like. This is not okay. We're breathing this mold. I'm trying to help, and this is not okay.
Yeah.
And he ended up leaving, whatever happened, mutual terms, whatever happened.
There was
It's gone now. It will be.
there was a ton of stuff that happened within a matter of, like, it felt like just a week, just everything, just like shit hit the fan,
Yeah.
with this whole documentary, everything at the prison, just it felt like a week, just everything hit the fan.
Yeah.
Like I said, we really dive into that towards the end of the documentary. It's a
You
solid.
got in there and did that though before they did that BS.
Yeah.
Congratulations, way to go for like having the drive to go in there and do it and to get what you could in that time period before it's basically lost.
Yeah, and there was like I said, it was a multiple night thing. There was a third night, but yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. And I'm glad you're putting it out on the 17th instead of, like everybody does on Halloween.
Yeah, well, my because I work for that haunted attraction inside the prison on the main side, or the annex side. The main side and the annex side are owned by two separate people. So the state of Illinois owns the whole property, but they lease it out to the city of Joliet, in which they sublease it to two separate people. The main side is owned by the Joliet Area Historical Society. The annex is owned by 13th Floor Entertainment Group. I work for 13th Floor Entertainment Group, and they treat me very well over there. Like, they are fantastic people. I love working for them. I love,
Tell me you're going to have a viewing.
I was hoping to. I was hoping to maybe do it at the prison, on the women's side, the annex side. We'll see. We will see.
I would find a way to project it up against like the wall on the outside.
That is my idea.
That would be awesome
if we can get approval for it. So I gotta talk to a couple people about it first. So
do it as a fundraiser.
Yeah, definitely possible. So
yeah, I don't know how.
Do it as a fundraiser. Make something fun out of it. Get people to come.
We have a really good setup there for having people like guests and stuff like that. Obviously, because of the haunted attraction, we have a whole midway that we bring in food trucks and everything, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good time there with good people. So
yeah, I went to the haunted attraction at Waverly Hills.
Okay.
Before I even knew what, that it was a haunted location, before I cared about haunted. But there was a haunted attraction there on Halloween. I remember waiting in line forever. And we went in, and it was just the bottom part, little bitty. But then when I got to go back as an investigator, it was like, oh, this is where this was. And it's totally different. Of course, the energy is different, everything when they took away that. But it is neat to be able to go to a location like that, whether it's haunted attraction, whether it's, just doing a tour, to be able to be there.
Yeah, 100%. And I always say, like, we have the perfect venue for a haunted attraction. You couldn't ask for a better venue. I mean, it's an old prison. You got probably got ghosts in there that a customer thinks is an actor. you know.
I've heard of that
Right.
happening.
Yeah. So and there are stories even that the actors have told me that they've experienced throughout the night. It's kind of hard though, because with all the lights, all the sound effects, all the different special effects, it's kind of hard to be like this 100%
Is,
happened, you know.
isn't
But
that what Halloween is all about, though? Is so that the
yeah,
spirits can walk amongst us and we don't even know
yeah,
who
right.
they are and let them have a good time?
But yeah, no, I've had several actors come to me and tell me like I experienced this because I'm like their like their resident ghost hunter there.
Mhm.
So like they'll come and tell me things like this happened tonight, this happened tonight, and I'm like interesting, like that's weird. And like there's one cell in particular that I always get told about. One cell in particular. And one night I was acting in house. I had to act in house, and I was filling in by that area. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna hop in that cell, and when a customer comes, I'll pop out and I'll do my thing, whatever. I'll go back in the cell. I'll do an investigate. I'll investigate a little bit. Customer comes, I'll pop out. Just repeat, you know. So like, I wear like a straight jacket for my character. He wears a straight jacket, so there's straps on the back, and I pop out, go back in. I'm like, all right, well, if there's anyone here with me, just let me know by like messing with my straps a little bit, like pull on them, you know, like kind of like flick them around, whatever. And next thing you know, I start feeling like my straitjacket getting tighter, and like kind of like feel like the pressure, like something kind of pulling a little bit. I'm like, all right, there's something in here. They're not lying. There's something in this cell. Um, I've had people that didn't know about the cell go in there, and they kind of have a little bit of medium abilities. I'm not a huge person on psychics and whatever, but um, if they tell me something, I'll listen. You know, they told me they walked in that cell, came out, they're like, nope, I will not go in there. Um, they had no clue about it. So
You
uh,
should have everybody start writing a log, like a blind log. Like have them write down their story and like have it put somewhere so nobody can go back and read through it
yeah,
and then see what stories match.
100%. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah,
That'd be a cool research thing.
yeah, and I never usually. I'll say what the cell is when the documentary comes out, but I never usually tell the actors like, "Oh, it's this cell," because then they'll go in there and then they'll, yeah,
Expect it.
yeah. So I,
They'll feel it whether they do or not.
yeah, and there's been like 6 to 7, maybe even 8 actors that have come to me that didn't hear the story from someone else, and then they'll come to me and tell me like this happened in this cell, and I'll be like, "Here we go again. There it goes. That cell, man. There's something about it." And what's weird about that is that they did a remodel at the prison in 2000 on that side, and that cell is in the block that was added in 2000,
Mhm.
and the prison closed down in 2002. So they added it in 2000, closed it in 2002. So it's like in those 2 years,
What
something
happened?
happened that made that cell in particular
Yeah.
active.
Yeah.
But before that, that area right there was the yard. So maybe something happened in the yard, and that's like the cell that they're choosing to be in,
Yeah.
or something happened in that cell within the 2 years. And
Do
from
you
my,
have access to records?
what was that?
Do you have any access to the records of the prison? Like, who it was, what cell they were in, anything like that?
I don't think I'd be able to access that because I think the state took that stuff
Okay.
because it's so fresh. That stuff is so fresh.
Yeah, I mean,
Stuff
it's
from dating back then, I think a lot of that was lost in the fires across the street. So, um,
That would
isn't
be
it weird how the history seems in like locations like that, fires happen or flooding or something wipes out the history on purpose. It almost seems like that.
and the fires were when it was abandoned. So those were arsonist attacks. And I remember because they didn't open the prison back up for like, well, they didn't open it up for the restoration and tours until 2018. So I remember being in high school and them putting out like the Joliet Police Department putting out like a picture of somebody on Facebook, like this person set fire to the prison, you know, like we got to get them, and they got them. but I just
Oh,
remember the
goodness.
fires happening. Like I vividly remember them. So
Golly. So the $1 million question that everybody has to ask: why are you in the paranormal?
why am I in the paranormal?
What got you in here?
So my whole backstory.
There
Pretty
you go.
Okay.
What happened to you when you were 3? What did you see?
Wasn't when I was 3, it was when I was 8, actually. So when I was 6, I moved to this neighborhood where I'm at right now, and this neighborhood, it's a lot of older individuals. There was no real kids for me to play with on this street at all. Uh, 2 years later, when I was 8, a there was this kid 2 doors down that would visit his grandmother from, he'd come in from Chicago every other weekend. He started coming in, and his grandma was like, "Oh, why don't you go play with the kind of newer kid down the street?" So he came down. He's like, "Hey, like I heard, you don't usually have people to hang out with. Like, do you want to come play GameCube with me?" So I'm like, "Sure." So I go over to his grandma's house with him. We go in this living room area where we're about to play some GameCube. GameCube, yes, absolutely. Like, love GameCube. And there was this painting on the back wall, and it was of a little girl, and it was really creepy. Okay, it was smiling. Now the TV was on the opposite wall, and it was one of those old box TVs that had like a reflection to them, right?
Mhm.
The TVs now, they're very matte, like they don't have that reflection. This had a reflection. When I looked at the TV before it was even on, uh, I saw the reflection of the painting, and she was frowning in the painting. Okay, turn around, the painting's smiling. And I told him, I'm like, I don't like this. Like I don't like that painting. And he's like, yeah, I don't like it either, but this is where the TV is that we can use. So I just kind of just try to ignore it. So we turn the game on and whatever, we play the game. It's always been creepy though, every time we went over. And a couple years later, 2012, 12 years old, and start watching the ghost shows, Taps, Ghost Adventures, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Um, and
Oh,
all
but gotta love that little
Oh, you
fake
know what?
boy.
You just wormed your way right into my heart and warmed my soul.
Hey,
I
their
appreciate you.
cinematography and editing is really good, but they're full of shit half the time. So, I started watching those shows, and I really kind of got into it. And I told my friend Eric, the one that I, would go to him with his grandmother's house, told him like, I want to go experience this for myself because I don't really believe in this stuff. Like, I want to go experience it. And his sister overhears us, and she's like, "Hey, there's this hospital 2 hours south of here. It's an old asylum, and it's abandoned. You just sneak in through the pool area, and you get in there, and it's really haunted." So I told my mom about it, and my mom's like, "All right, let's go down there." I have a cool mom. She's really supportive. She wants me to do like whatever I want to do. Like, she's willing to
That's
take me
awesome.
places. So she drove us down there, the 2 hours south, Peoria, Illinois, and we get there, and this giant limestone building is just lit up in purple lights. We're like, this is not abandoned. Like, what are we doing? So we're like, let's just get out and see what's going on. So we get out. This guy comes out. I'll never forget it. Never forget it. He comes out of the building and he says, "Y'all here for the ghost tour?" We're like, now we are. So we signed up. We did a ghost tour. I experienced some stuff, and I was like, this is wild. So I got a group together. I had been doing a YouTube channel prior to that. I was trying to do like gaming. I was trying to do like you know, uh, like pranks and stuff like that with my friend Eric. So we were doing a YouTube channel. When I decided I wanted to do this for the YouTube channel, I'm like, I'm really interested. I want to see some real stuff. I want to show some real stuff. So I told him I was doing this. He wasn't as interested as I was. So I got a group together, and we created our own separate YouTube channel. And then that lasted like a year and a half, maybe. Uh, Things kind of fell apart because of a falling out, and then I just took the paranormal aspect of things, and I created Blood Moon Paranormal. So it's been history since. So yeah.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, actually it is. Oh, here comes dinner.
Awesome.
Her way of, saying, guess what I get? Is that healthy? watch this. Now you get to watch me be mom. Is that healthy? What are we having?
Baked chicken,
Baked with
with
what?
beans, and yeah.
It's pretty good. Looks pretty good.
Minus the mashed potatoes, it's healthy, yes.
I saw that starch.
Hey, Nikki. So, what is the meaning behind blood moon?
I wish there was more to it. But I was in my geometry class in high school, and I had a red pen because we were doing some sort of thing, and I was just like doodling on my homework or some note page or something like that, and I was just trying to. I'd spent like days like trying to figure out like a name for like the new group and the new channel and stuff like that, because we had gone by Fear Reality prior hand, which is a pretty decent name, but I wanted something new and different and more paranormal oriented. And I drew like a red circle as I was doodling, and like I was just like, huh. So I'm like, I wonder if there's like a Blood Moon Paranormal out there. So I looked it up. No groups online called Blood Moon Paranormal. So I'm like, all right, well, put my flag down. That's gonna be it. So um took the name, and then like a year later I found out that like the next month after I chose the name, there was a group in Orlando, Florida that chose the name as well, and I'm like, all right,
Nope.
but it's all good. They haven't caused any issues. I'm cool with them. So
Well, you realize that you said you've been filming this for about a year, right?
yes,
So you did film during a blood moon. Your project was during a blood moon.
was it?
Yes, sir, it was. I thought you knew that.
I didn't know that. We filmed in July of last year. So
But you've been working on this for a year.
yeah.
Yeah. You in spring was a blood moon.
Okay.
Yep. No. Blood supermoon.
I think I probably knew about it in the moment, but I'm like
Yeah.
blanking on it right now. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
surprisingly, I don't think we've ever investigated during a blood moon, surprisingly. So I feel like they always happen during the week, you know?
I haven't either. But I wouldn't have paid as much attention to it if I wasn't so witchy to begin with. So
Just go work in the mental hospital or an ER during a blood moon.
a full moon, just a full moon is crazy. I don't want to see a blood moon.
Yeah, it's been crazy lately with the full moon. Some people, man, lately. It's been wild.
You have no idea. No idea.
And
People are
I'm
crazy.
staying indoors. I ventured out this morning to Walgreens.
No.
I came home. I shut my door, and I haven't been back out. No way.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
No.
So
No. On a medium level, like, no. I'm sitting my butt. I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, you keep your energy there. I'll keep my energy here. I'm going to keep it tucked in right here, nice and safe, away from you crazy people.
Speaking of energy, I want to tell you something.
Oh, Lord. Start praying now.
Yeah. His aunt came into town.
Look at, she's acting like this ain't going online. Like he can't go back and watch this.
He can. I don't care about that.
Okay, his aunt. Okay, we're getting the tea. Ready,
Here.
Zach?
Is here. Okay.
Right now?
All I've
Alive?
all I've heard so far, she's alive. All I've heard is how she's judgmental. She's mean. I am completely ready for anything at this point. And I'm like,
So she's my cup of tea. She's like one of my favorite type
for
of-
about 10 minutes. But
I love difficult people, Zach.
I haven't gotten any of that. She's been completely nice. Comes, talks to me in my office. Brought me a present when they came home today. Mom did. Mom. She tells me this is a healing stone. Mom, that's selenite. It's a cleansing stone, a healing stone, but it's okay. I don't know what happened, but everybody's getting along for some reason. Are they drinking the moonshine? I don't know. But
Who are you jinxing?
working
Why? Why?
because we have a yard sale this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. No, they have a yard sale, but guess who's we is going to be involved?
Zach, are you married?
I'm not. My girlfriend was in the chat a little bit ago. I don't know if she's still in here. Emily Fusion on there.
Hi, Emily.
She's actually a witch as well. So she collects a lot of the crystals and stuff like that. I'm personally not like a huge rock person, but to each their own. So.
There she is. She's still here. She's still here.
So then you understand that, when the parents say we're going to do something, the we is you and her in their pocket, right? You guys are now the mice in their pocket because it's no longer a mouse. You know how your parents always said, "Well, who's this we? Did you get a mouse in your pocket?" What
Yes,
you
you
don't
do.
realize is the we when you get older, you are the we. Okay, you are. You are.
And the other thing is,
And if my son's watching, no,
which one?
call your mom.
Which
I
one?
need
And the thing about that is, we came. This is the family home, his family home. No, that ain't no. It was built in 1908. All but a few years of that, it's been all his family. They've all died here. They've all lived and died here. The next generation is fixing to die here. And, well, that is not an issue. I could care less. I know all the spirits as I walk by and, hi, Aunt. See ya. That's not an issue.
That's the reason why I asked if they were dead or alive.
Yeah. But when they get to a certain age and you have to take care of them, and by taking care of them, I don't mean changing their diaper. I mean, stop doing what you're doing. You are not young enough to be doing that crap, and you fall in the yard, knock your shit off.
So when your parents become old enough that they become toddlers again and you become the parents,
Yes.
call me. I have some advice.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. That gets interesting because we all eventually end up back in diapers, right? We all eventually have somebody take care of us, right?
If we're lucky enough to live that long, we are.
It goes in reverse.
Yeah, I can't wait to pull some shit on my kids. Look at Adrian. Look at I got plans.
Your kids will stop you in your tracks because they're one step ahead of you because you taught them.
My daughter's evil and cute.
Mm.
Yeah, she'll be the one. She'll be the one. She'll be the one.
She's nothing.
See, you know how we were talking how the kids went to Colorado? They usually go with her.
Mm-hmm.
They spend time with her and they go stay at her house. And my 13-year-old.
Actually, they own the house when they come here. They run it.
That's a state I have yet to been to, but I want to go to Colorado at some point. So,
well, I tell you what, you said your girlfriend goes with you?
yeah, she's our head photographer. So,
Emily, sweetheart, anytime you want to come to Colorado, I have 2 spare rooms up there. You won't have to worry about food, lodging. Come do your thing.
See, you notice how she addresses Emily and not you.
Did you
notice that? Did you notice that? She straight bypassed you. You should have never said Emily was in the.
Emily is just going to show up by herself. I'm not even going to be there. It's just going to be Emily.
I want
Emily,
her
call us. We'll go on a girls' night.
that she is more than welcome. Because in this paranormal field, people start running their damn mouths like, did you see her hit on him and tell him to come to her house? We're not having this.
Yeah.
We're not going to have it.
I get it.
We're gonna
Oh, no,
have
I'm just saying
both
we have to
of
know
them
who wears the
come
pants.
to the house.
If he's in a relationship, the woman wears the pants, so you got to go straight to the woman. That's what I was saying. You
for
gotta
the
go
haunted
straight-
hallway. Oh my god! I tell you what, when the aunt came up there yesterday, she was like, "This used to be here, and this used to be here, and this used to be here, and that used to be mine." Talking about some antiques, and I'm like, "Yeah, it used to be."
My God.
And then we just play around, but
Mhm.
when they start telling me the same story, because mom, sometimes you're just like, okay, yeah, okay, I believe that, but and then you go, oh, you're telling me the same story. So this guy really died right here in my living room? Are you okay?
Well, what's the most interesting location you've been to, Zach? Because Adrian's is the house that she lives in now. Yes, it is. Hands down. Has to be.
Old Park Hotel is my thing. I love that place.
Most interesting. Oh man. Probably have to be like, now traveling wise, Crescent Sanatorium. So traveling wise, that's
Yeah,
in
that's what I was gonna ask.
that one's in I want to say it's Lilly, Pennsylvania. I think it is. It's they're not doing investigations anymore. The previous owners moved out. It's been transferring ownership a lot lately, but I heard recently that the new owners might be bringing paranormal back. I don't know, but that one, it was a sanatorium, and then it turned into a prison. So like, they built some cell blocks in there, and then they put a fence around it. Really weird, because you get like those old buildings in there that are like cottage style for like asylum patients or like sanatorium patients, and then you get like the prison buildings that are like cell blocks and stuff. It's really, really weird. Big property too. I think it's like 32 acres or something like that. Like, it's massive.
Wow.
Locally wise though, I'd say the most interesting one we've investigated is the old Joliet Union Station.
I've heard of that.
So that one, we were the first to investigate it, actually. So,
Gonna ask.
but it's the old Union Station for Joliet, and we kind of dived deep into some theories on like spirits being able to travel from location to location via the railroad, and the railroad that connects to that goes all the way down to like Alton, Illinois, which is Pike Mansion, Mineral Springs Hotel, all of the hauntings that happen down there. But that railroad goes to a couple different places that we've investigated before. I think it goes by the Sally House as well, I think. So we were like trying to ask questions about like the spirits at other locations too, while also getting stuff from that location. So like, it was really interesting to kind of see if the theory is true. And that episode hasn't come out yet. I'm still working on it. Project Limestone kind of took the forefront. So, but yeah, it was interesting.
I give you credit for going through your evidence. We were talking about that on not that long ago on an episode where it was like we are so bad about not going through our evidence. We're good about going to a location, but we're really bad about processing evidence.
It's
really bad.
It's tough because you're going through hours of footage where something might not be happening, and you're just sitting there on your computer just going, and then something will happen and you jump up and you start typing on your computer like, holy shit, but it's,
or like my age, I'm 41 and I'm going, is that a dry spot floating across my eye, or did I really just see something? Like,
yeah, but I love my crew. They do a lot. We have two photographers that, they take the photos and they edit all the photos, so they have their job there. I have a researcher that does all of the research for the locations. Like, she deep dives, like she's going on like Ancestry and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I have EVP reviewers that'll go through the EVPs. And then I do all of the other evidence. So like everything that's happening on the screen, I go through all of that. So
How
sometimes some extra help would be nice, but they're doing quite a bit as is. So
You're talking about Union Station. Did you put something out about that?
the Joliet Union Station,
Yeah.
I made a post about it after we filmed it, but that was about it. So
Okay, maybe that's where I've seen it because I only saw it one time. Like
yeah,
I saw something about it one time. So that's probably where I've seen it because I follow your Facebook page at least.
yeah,
I have not seen the um, YouTube yet. I don't believe.
yeah. The video is not out yet. I just, like I said, just focusing on the prison one first. But the local ones, like next year, these local investigations, like I am going to be mainly focusing on those because they're so fascinating. I have a lot of fun with them. We save money because we don't have to like pay for hotel and gas. We just come
Right.
right back home, and they do really good on YouTube. Like
Yeah.
they do phenomenal on
have
YouTube.
you tried hooking up with the state or the city or somebody, to help promote? I know like we have here in New Mexico True. But New Mexico True goes through and they do haunted locations and they highlight areas and they always look for paranormal groups to go interview and stuff like that or to go work with and what I don't know, like
Yeah.
they do a lot of cool things to promote our state. Like I don't know if Illinois has anything like that.
I've never reached out to the state of Illinois, but I have talked to the mayor in Lockport real briefly, and he says that he enjoys what we're doing. Because I keep the locals within like an hour radius, like because there's no place to rent out within an hour and a half.
Right.
So local to me is like within an hour, you know.
Right. Mhm.
So Lockport is the town next to Joliet. I've talked to him before. I've talked to the Joliet mayor, but that was about a different issue. But he knows me. He knows me.
Travel magazine.
Yeah,
I mean, just
cool.
to get some promotion and maybe to help pay to like go to these locations or get paid to do,
yeah. I mean that'd be cool, but I mean the YouTube channel, we're monetized, so we are making money from getting views. So that's helped a lot. Has it paid off of everything that we put in? No,
it never does.
it never will. But still, I mean, I just love the locals. They're so much fun. Like I told you earlier before we started the live, like being able to do the research for the first time. I have my researcher helping me, but I'm also like, I'm sorry, I'm nosy. I start looking into it too. I'm like, I gotta assist you on this because I want to know.
Mhm.
They're just so much fun. There's so much history out this way too. I mean, we're investigating buildings that have, built in the 1800s, and
Mhm.
they've been
Beautiful buildings.
tons of different businesses. One of them we did was a theater when it started out, and then it got turned into a storefront, and it was this jewelry store, and the jewelry store still exists today, but it's in a different location. And the family's still in the family. So, I talked to one of the family members, and it's like, not only are you learning about this history about your hometown, but you're getting to connect with people that they're related to these people that you're doing research on. And it's so cool. It really makes it feel that much more real, because when you're going to places like, like the Lizzie Borden house or like, Penhurst Asylum, Villisca, all those kind of places, you're not connecting with the families or relatives that dealt with that. You're just going in there. People have already done the research for you. It
Right.
feels so much more real and more personal. And that's what I love about doing the locals.
Speaking of family, guys, I just want to say a quick anybody who prays, send healing light, whatever. Andrea Perrin is fighting stage 4 cancer. So, anybody doesn't know, she lived in the Conjuring House. She's fighting the battle of her life. So, we can keep her in our thoughts. Oh well, hell, really?
Here he is, Zach. Here he is to brag, okay?
Really?
I mean, I did say I was going to jump in at some point during the show.
What's going on?
Forgot that and dismissed it.
It's a beef stick.
So funny.
Better late than never, of course.
How's it going there?
Oh, it's going great. We've been having a really good time. I was just talking with Dustin Perry. I've been hanging out with Larry Eisler along with Dave Schrader, Aaron Sagers. Just saw Brian J. Cano. So it's been awesome so far. I also tried gambling. Unfortunately, I lost.
Hey, did Andrea show up?
Unfortunately, she didn't. But she was in our conversation, so we're definitely keeping her in our thoughts.
I just said that.
You just
right
said
before you
something
came
about
on.
her. So
I wondered if she'd show up. Well,
I think she
She'll
will.
make it. She's a fighter. She'll be fine.
She is, yeah. She just recently posted something earlier today, thanking everyone for taking their time. She even reacted to my post, so I know I'm in contact with her.
She's a fighter. She'll be great. She's fine.
Yep.
that's your next goal. You gotta make it to the UP. You gotta do the Paracon next year, Zach.
Oh, in Michigan?
Yeah.
So there's kind of some bad news, but I don't think it's going to be, not all is lost. I was told that this was actually going to be the last Michigan Paracon, but now I was told that somebody is going to try to pick up. It might not be next year, but there's a chance it could come back 2 years from now.
Bigger and better. It's all good. And maybe next year you'll be on the show where you damn well belong instead of out going.
Well, I was actually interviewed on camera for some Facebook video that's going to be going on tonight. I think the only reason why they brought me on was because of the vest and my uniform.
It's all about what Nick wears. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
exactly. I wasn't
Until we
expecting
steal
it.
his best. Or
Tell
his
me you
stuff.
told him that your name was Beef Stick.
I should have said something about that, but I didn't. I didn't have that thought.
Mm-hmm. See, I wasn't there to remind you.
So somebody might want to tell Nick that he's not there.
Wait, what?
So somebody might want to tell you that you're not here.
I don't know what to say about that.
That's probably best because he don't know what he's talking about anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Never even got to ask. How have you been, Zach?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing really good. Haven't seen you since the Chicago Paranormal Convention.
Yeah.
So it was like 2 years ago, I think I saw you last.
Yeah, it's been a bit, man. I'm jealous. I wish I was there with you because I was telling them like that Paracon is one that I've been wanting to go to for a while and the last year, but just couldn't make time for it. So
Maybe they'll make it closer.
fingers
How?
crossed.
It's about 6.5, 7 hours from where I live.
But maybe they'll make it closer to where you live.
But it's a beautiful drive.
Yeah, it is. Because
It is so beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
The UP is gorgeous. All the lakes, the trees, the beaches, the paranormal activity. It's prime. It is prime land.
I'm Nick's looking charming. And Tom, you're not doing your job there, bud.
Well, not to mention, we're literally just like a few miles away also from the U.S.-Canadian border.
Yeah, don't you know?
We know. Slip off into Canada and nobody will ever know.
Don't bring back fruit from Canada. No
And
food.
you just won't get back without your, all of your documentation, so probably don't do it.
Well, either way, it's been an awesome event so far, and I seriously would want to say the same for you guys. I wish you guys were here right now for this.
I do too, but tell everybody we know that we're thinking about them. We love them.
No,
Yep.
he doesn't. He doesn't wish we were there because now he has the bragging rights. That's where I went that you didn't go.
Yeah, it's okay.
See, Zach, we were talking about those bragging rights earlier. This is where they come.
We were.
Be careful out there. I know
It's
I know
so
Tom's
dangerous.
with you,
in Sault Ste.
but-
Marie. It's so dangerous in Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah. Be careful. Behave yourselves.
Did you see the eye roll, Zach?
As far as I know, I'm not going anywhere other than just going throughout the casino. That's it.
Don't be attacked by wild bears out there. You might
No.
get a wild like pigeon. Those pigeons can be brutal.
We got a wood chuck that's been watering the center part of the building. Not inside, but like on the grounds.
Just watch the ground for the feral squirrels. Yeah.
Might as well.
So dangerous. So dangerous.
I also
Be careful. Let us know how you're doing tomorrow, okay?
definitely. Oh, and also one other group I forgot to mention that I also just passed by right before I got on here. Ghost Hunters is here now, so I just walked by. They're talking with. Well, I couldn't really talk to them because we're talking with others, but
Who all's there?
I'll say hi to them for you guys when I get off.
Who all's there?
Is Evelina's husband there?
I didn't see him, unfortunately, but I'm still.
I think he's filming.
There's still people coming in, so not everybody's here yet.
Well, tell him, he can come pick up this woman anytime. When you see him, tell him I am done with her. He should have came 2 months ago to pick up this girl.
Yeah, if the stuff is there, tell him hi. We love him.
Yes, my best.
If the one that's having the issues with the house, tell him we support him. He knows I do.
Yeah, of course.
Tell him we all support him.
100%.
Yep.
You guys got it.
Tell him we're here. So
Family.
just behave yourselves, please.
I promise I will. I promise I will, and I'll get back to you guys tomorrow.
All right. Love
All
you.
right. Have a good night.
All right, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. You guys have a great night.
You
Later.
too. Bye.
Go ahead.
He just had to rub it in. He just had to rub it in. Do you see that, Mister?
I'm so glad
I'm
Tom's
just-
with him. That's all I can say.
Huh?
I'm so glad Tom's with him. That's all I can say.
Listen. Why? It's the UP.
Exactly.
What is so wrong with the UP?
He has no clue about people and how ugly people can be.
It's the UP. Zach, do you know anything about the UP?
Not really, but I'm guessing it's not a bad area.
No, okay.
So she says.
You leave your doors unlocked. You leave your cars unlocked. You can leave your kid in the car in the gas station and go inside of it, and your kid's still going to be there. And
We
if
left our cars unlocked
probably,
too.
he's probably down the fucking road at his auntie's house, right?
He's not there.
No. The UP, small town. There is no true big town in the UP. And they are so stuck in the 80s, it is beyond. Okay, the only fear that you should have of Nick in the UP is that he goes out on a boat and he gets sunk. Okay? Or the second one, a bear attacks.
That's neither one of those are good scenarios.
It's not like a human being's going to come after him. It's the UP and Canada. Canada's right there, don't you know?
Yeah, so I left our car unlocked. Well, not ours, but left the car unlocked. Right. That wasn't the issue. They decided to take the catalytic converter off the damn thing right in front of our house.
You know what happens in the UP? I'm going to tell you what happens. You know, the only thing that really gets truly stolen out of the UP is if you have a pickup truck and you have sandbags in the back of your truck and somebody's stuck, somebody's going to grab those sandbags out of the back of your truck and throw them in theirs and drive off.
I heard the drive-by compliments are real bad up there.
They're awful. Oh, man. My ex-husband is from Powers, Michigan. Iron Mountain area. It's so small town. It's so everybody knows everybody up there. It doesn't matter. You know, it's just
See, a lot of my family is from Detroit area. So I've never been Upper Peninsula, but yeah. I've been to Michigan quite a bit for my family in Detroit. So
the UP's beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's great to go. Hi, Rose. That's my damn dog.
That was.
She used to ride around in my sweater pocket. And she likes Adrian better.
Yeah, I want to go to Mackinac Island at some point too. I've heard good things about that.
Oh, I would love to go to Mackinac. Yeah. Okay, so the UP fudge is the best too.
That's what I've heard.
Oh man. Oh, and the Hokies. I I miss the UP. I'm actually I'm debating in life. I'm at that point, like I don't know where I want to move. We get to travel. I don't have to sit in the same place for very long. So where do I want to go? I lived in the Midwest. I lived in Hawaii. I lived in Colorado. I lived in Washington. New Mexico. You know, like where do I want to be? So
I love
you
Washington as well. I wanted to move to Seattle for a long time, and now I'm kind of stuck here where I'm like, I guess I'd rather be in Illinois, you know. But Seattle was like where I wanted to go for a long time.
I lived in Smoky Point, Arlington, which is north of Seattle. So I lived up near Darrington and stuff like that. And I
How
used to
far
have to,
from Aberdeen?
not that far. No, I
Not
can't
that
remember.
far.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Okay.
Well, it depends on the time of year too.
Still same distance.
No, Deception Pass. Have you ever heard of Deception Pass?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That I'm terrified of bridges, and I had to go over Deception Pass. And my boss was like, "We're going over," and I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "We're going over," and I'm looking at the floorboard, and I'm like, "Okay, I think I'm just gonna put myself on this floorboard." And she goes, "You know, you're gonna have to do this by yourself tomorrow." And I went,
Yeah.
I was crying. Like that was some scary stuff right there.
Yeah. No. We went to Seattle. God, it had to have been like 2016, and it was me and my mom. My mom drove us out there.
It's one hell of a drive, ain't it?
Yeah, from Illinois to Seattle. It's crazy.
I used to do Green
And
Bay to Seattle, so
that's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah, no, it was a wild trip, and yeah, some of those mountains. I mean, we're from Flatland, you know, those mountains were wild. And like I was the calm one. My mom was freaking out the whole time, and I'm like,
Coeur d'Alene. How bad did she freak out right before she got to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho? The border of Idaho and Washington, and you come down off that big pass and you come around and go back up, and then you come back over and you have the lake right there.
I can't remember 100%. All I remember is there was this very, very large bridge, and you come around a bend, and then you go over the bridge, but there was areas you can get off right there to go check out the view. And there was
4th
like
of July pass.
I think that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
She freaked out on that. That's where she was freaked, because at one point, I think it was on the way back, because she knew about it on the way there, because well, she didn't know about it, but it was during the day, so it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
On the way back, it was dark out. We were trying to get to our next hotel to stay, and we went through there, and she was freaking out because it was
Not okay.
Yeah.
It comes right up on you. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I love it. Like I told everybody, you know, to travel through, you know, Washington, even during the summer, to get anywhere. I literally have to go through the sun, rain, sleet, and snow. Those passes are so high. Some of that area is never you will never see the grass.
Yeah.
You know, I've watched avalanches, you know, where they launch and they create their own avalanche to get rid of it off the side of the mountain.
Yeah, it's a beautiful drive though. Like some of the stuff you drive through is beautiful, and that's when my addiction for huckleberries started. Because that's where they come from, is that way. And then yeah, we stopped in Idaho for because we're like, oh, potatoes, you know, Idaho. We stopped. We went to two restaurants. No potatoes. Even the McDonald's was out of fries. We were like, what is this about?
Yeah, they send them everywhere else, apparently.
Yeah.
So
hey, Washington sells their water to California and then buys it back from Oregon. So let's
California's water sucks. But
do you know where I was going to say, do you know where you should go if you ever get like a weird area to go, like do paranormal? Dubuque.
Yes, I've heard some things about
and
Dubuque.
It's beautiful. Have you been through Dubuque?
No, we were
oh man.
I don't know like where Dubuque is in Idaho, but we were like all the way up top when we went. when we went,
Okay.
we went through the top.
So we're going to tell you. Jeremy's given us the warning. We got 5 minutes left.
Oh shoot.
No.
So Project Limestone.
Calm down. We're going to tell you this. You and Emily. We're in Greeley, Colorado. Anywhere close to here. Denver, anywhere. Find something, you got a place. You want to do Indian territory and any kind of New Mexican. There's so much history there. We'll meet you there.
Okay.
You still got a place
doors
to stay.
open. You
You
guys.
still got a place to stay,
Fun.
and you got a hell of a cook right there. And I'll go down. I have no problem.
Yeah, I'll cook. I'll put you guys up. Yeah, you guys can come stay with me, and I'll take you on.
We do this
a
for a
history
lot
hunt.
of paranormal teams. We
I
do.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Seriously. That means a lot.
And when I'm going through, because I'm going to have to go through here pretty soon, within the next 6 months. If I go through, I'm going to have to hit up you and Nick on my way through, because I actually
Sure.
have to go do some family research. I have to do some family research actually up in your area. My family has history up in there, and Minoy and Chicago. So
If you have to come through Joliet between September and end of October, let me know. We'll see if the haunted attraction is open. I don't know if you like that kind of stuff, but
I'll drag my 13-year-old.
there you go.
Oh, he's
It'll be
amazing.
open.
But
Yeah,
really,
and this
we
one.
really are all like family.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to actually see. So October 17th, right, of
Correct.
this year,
Yep.
on your YouTube channel,
Correct.
Project Limestone, and you guys are the first. And are you guys now really officially, really the only ones to ever truly go in there and document?
So the main
women.
side, no, but the annex, the women's side, we are the first and as of right now, the only paranormal group to investigate that side.
That's awesome.
That is
Fingers
awesome.
crossed, maybe one day we can get that open for other people to experience it for themselves. So I'm trying.
You
But
know what? We're
I'm
happy
excited
watching
that you
yours.
Yeah. And you need nose medicine?
Jan, Tom says you better stop and see everybody this time.
Yeah, I usually don't go through Illinois. I do
Tom,
this weird thing.
We tried. We really did. That damn
Yeah.
blizzard. We really were going over there.
We were.
That
And
damn blizzard. We weren't going anywhere. We were going to sleep with the elk. I'm telling
else?
you, I was going to cuddle up with the damn elk. I had no problem with that right then.
yeah, we weren't going anywhere. Not with that pileup, not with everything blocking. There was no way. But yes,
And the sun was in the pileup.
yeah, my son was in the pileup with my grandkids
Oh man,
and my daughter-in-law.
that's terrifying.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh.
But yeah,
But
Project Limestone, October 17th on Blood Moon Paranormal, largest documentary we've ever made. So,
Guys, everybody subscribe now
Yeah,
and hit
I
that
have.
bell, because it's gonna be one of those things that we forget, and then everybody's gonna be talking about it, and we're gonna have no clue what the hell people are talking about.
it's either that or we're going to drag you
guilty.
back on.
So just do it now, so we'll get the notification.
awesome.
We'll drag you back on before it comes out so we can re-promote it. And
Just let me know. Yeah.
And guys,
It's a
seriously,
pleasure.
if you're ever out any of these locations, come on, we got you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure meeting you. I
Good
appreciate
talk with
your
you guys.
Everybody
All right,
have
everybody.
a great night. Thank you so much, Zach.
Absolutely. Thank you
Sweet
guys.
dreams.
You guys have a good night.
You too.
Night.